Something is shifting in the field around you right now. Not in the vague way that phrase usually gets used. In a specific, measurable, physically real way. The quantum field does not shift uniformly for everyone at the same moment. It shifts for specific observers when those observers have reached a specific threshold of readiness. And the fact that you are here, in this moment, watching this particular video, is not the algorithm, and it is not coincidence. It is the field showing you that you are at the threshold. The state that may be activating tonight is not a mood. It is not a mindset. It is not an attitude toward money, success, or abundance that you adopt through repetition until it becomes habit. It is something more fundamental than any of those things. It is a genuine shift in the quantum configuration of your relationship with prosperity itself. And it is available tonight in a way it was not available last weeks or the last months, not because something external changed, because something in you has been building toward this threshold for longer than this video has existed, and the building is complete now. This is why I want to spend this video taking you through what the quantum state of prosperity actually is, how it differs from every other framework you have encountered about abundance and lack, what is keeping most people outside of it, and most importantly, a practice that you can use still today, tonight, before you sleep, and begin the activation. Stay until the end, because today, in the final of the video, I have a special gift for you. Pay attention to this entire transmission. The process is important, and the practice only works in context. I want you to activate this tonight. So let's begin with it. Prosperity is not just a number in a bank account. That is important to say directly, because most conversations about abundance begin and end with the external result. The money, the opportunities, the circumstances, and the result matters. I am not going to tell you that material reality is irrelevant. It is not. But the result is downstream from something that most people never examine because they are too focused on the result itself to look at what is generating it. The quantum state of prosperity is a specific internal configuration, a way of standing inside the field that is characterized not by what you have, but by what you are in relationship with. The person in the quantum state of prosperity is not necessarily someone with full bank accounts. They are someone whose nervous system, whose attention, whose fundamental orientation toward existence is aligned with abundance as the natural state rather than scarcity as the default condition. At the quantum level, both abundance and scarcity are real possibilities present in the field simultaneously. The field contains both. They exist in superposition. What determines which one consistently collapses into your lived experience is not luck, and it is not circumstance. It is the state you are operating from, the frequency you are running, the orientation your entire system has been calibrated toward over years of conditioning, experience, and repeated patterns of attention. Most people are calibrated toward scarcity without knowing it, not because they want to be, because the experiences that shaped them taught their nervous systems that lack is the baseline and abundance is the exception that requires constant effort to maintain. That calibration runs beneath the conscious level. It runs beneath affirmations and vision boards and positive thinking. It runs in the body, in the automatic assessments, in the way the nervous system interprets each new situation before the conscious mind has formed a single thought about it. The quantum state of prosperity begins when that calibration changes, when the nervous system learns At the level of direct experience, rather than intellectual understanding, that abundance is not the exception, that it is what the field produces when the observer is no longer running the scarcity signal. I know what that shift feels like. I know the difference between operating from scarcity and operating from the prosperity state, not as a concept, but as a lived experience in my own body. Today, I feel a certain prosperity for having found my life's mission, which is to create content to help you all. And I thank each and every one of you who are supporting my mission and are here in this broadcast from the bottom of my heart. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe and join this incredible community of beings of light. Tonight, you will start to feel this difference that I am talking about. The most precise description of what keeps people outside the quantum state of prosperity is that they are trying to reach prosperity from inside the scarcity state. And that's impossible. That cannot work, not because of a spiritual law or a philosophical principle, because of physics. The scarcity state produces a specific quality of attention, a specific way of scanning the environment, a specific interpretation of incoming information that consistently selects the evidence of lack over the evidence of abundance, even when both are present in the field simultaneously. Someone operating from scarcity looks at the same field as someone operating from prosperity and sees different things, not because the field is different, because the instrument doing the looking is calibrated differently. The scarcity observer selects threats, gaps, what is missing, what could go wrong, what has not yet arrived. The prosperity observer selects possibilities, what is already present, what is building, what the field is already organizing. Both observers are being accurate. Both are seeing what is genuinely there, because like I said, the field contains both. The difference is which layer of the field the instrument is tuned to receive. And here is the thing that most abundance teachings miss entirely. You cannot think your way out of the scarcity state. You cannot affirm your way out. You cannot visualize your way out. Because thinking, affirming, and visualizing are all happening inside the state you are already in. They are using the instrument that is already calibrated to scarcity, and an instrument calibrated to scarcity will interpret every affirmation through that calibration and produce evidence for why the affirmation is not yet true. What actually moves the needle is a direct experience of the prosperity state, even briefly, even partially. A moment where the nervous system genuinely inhabits the frequency of abundance rather than talking about it, because that moment creates a reference point, and a reference point changes what the instrument can select from the field going forward. Now I need you to tell me in the comments below, where in your life does the scarcity pattern show up most persistently? Tell me the specific area. Money, relationships, health? The one that has been the most resistant to change despite everything you have tried, because naming it precisely is the first step toward working with it at the level where it actually lives. Now let's talk about the physics of prosperity, because this is one of the most important things. Here is what the quantum field actually says about prosperity that most conversations about abundance never reach. The field is not neutral toward you. This is important. Most people operate as if the field is a passive backdrop that either delivers or withholds based on criteria that are opaque and arbitrary, either luck or some cosmic preference system that they may or may not be favored by. The field is not that. The field is responsive. It responds to the state of the observer. It organizes itself in ways that are consistent with the frequency the observer is running, not as a reward system. As physics, the field produces outcomes that match the coherence of the observer, the way a musical instrument produces sounds that match how it is tuned. Not because the instrument chooses to produce those sounds, because that is what resonance does. The quantum state of prosperity is a state of genuine resonance with abundance as the natural condition of the field, and the field around a person in that state begins to organize differently, not because the person is special or chosen or has discovered a secret, because the field is responding to a coherent signal rather than a fragmented one. Synchronicities multiply. This is one of the first signs. Opportunities appear from directions that were not being watched. Connections form that could not have been planned. Solutions arrive before the full problem has been articulated. Not because the universe has decided to favor this person, because a coherent observer in the prosperity state is selecting from the field with enough clarity that what was always available begins to become visible. Another sign is that effort shifts quality. Not that things become effortless in the sense of requiring no work, but that the effort stops feeling like pushing against resistance and starts feeling like moving with direction. The difference between swimming against a current and swimming with one. The energy expenditure may be similar. The progress is incomparably different. And the last sign is that what arrives tends to exceed what was asked for. Not always in the form expected, but in precision. The field does not deliver exactly what was specified. It delivers what the coherent prosperity state is actually aligned with, which turns out to be more complete, more fitting, and more useful than the specification was. I have lived all three of these. I know them not from theory, but from the specific texture of specific experiences. And the transition between not having these and having them was not gradual. It was a shift. A specific moment where the state changed and the field began responding differently. That shift is what may activate tonight. Before we go into the practice, there is something that needs to be said about where the scarcity calibration came from. Because most people carry a quiet belief that the scarcity pattern is their fault, that they have somehow chosen it or maintained it through weakness or lack of discipline or insufficient belief. And that belief is not only wrong, it is itself part of the scarcity state. The scarcity calibration was not chosen. It was installed through direct experience, usually early, through watching how the people around you related to money, to opportunity, to the possibility of things going well, through moments where abundance arrived and then left in ways that taught the nervous system that abundance is temporary and loss is permanent. Through cultural and familial narratives about who deserves prosperity and who does not, about whether it is safe to have, to want, to receive, without immediately losing. All of that ran below the level of conscious choice. It shaped the instrument before you had any say in what the instrument would be calibrated to. And the reason it has persisted, despite every conscious effort to change it, is that the efforts were aimed at the wrong level. Conscious intention operates at the level of thought. The scarcity calibration lives at the level of the nervous system, the body, the automatic assessments that arrive before thought. You cannot overwrite a nervous system pattern with a thought. You can only change it through direct experience of a different state, which is why the practice tonight is not a meditation about abundance. It is not a visualization of what you want. It is a direct induction of the prosperity state at the level of the body. a genuine physiological entry into the frequency of abundance that creates a reference point the nervous system can return to. You did not choose the scarcity calibration. You can choose to replace it, but the replacement happens at the level where it was installed. In your body, in the field, in the direct experience of a different way of being. And you can do that now. This is the first practice. Do it now, while you are still in the video. Sit comfortably. Let your hands rest open on your thighs, palms facing up. Not as a symbol, but because the open hands are the physical posture of receiving rather than holding. The body does not separate from the state. The body is part of the state. Take a breath. And as you breathe in, instead of thinking about abundance or visualizing what you want, do something different. Feel for a single genuine experience of abundance that already exists in your life right now. Not what you want, what is already present, what you already have. One thing. It does not have to be financial. It does not have to be large. It can be a relationship that is real, a capacity you genuinely have, something in your body that is functioning. The simple fact of being alive in a moment that contains this breath. Find one thing that is genuinely present and let the feeling of it expand in your chest, not just performed gratitude. A genuine recognition of something that is already here. That feeling, that specific quality of recognizing what is already present, is the entry point to the quantum state of prosperity. Not because gratitude is a magic frequency, because the genuine recognition of what is already present shifts the instrument from scanning for what is missing to registering what is here. And an instrument registering what is here is running a fundamentally different signal than one scanning for what is absent. Hold that feeling for 30 seconds. Just that. The expansion in the chest, the genuine recognition, the instrument tuning toward what is present. Now notice what shifts in your body. Not what you think should shift, what actually shifts. There may be a softening in the shoulders, a quality of spaciousness in the chest, a slight drop in the background vigilance that most people carry without knowing they are carrying it. That drop is the scarcity frequency releasing its grip, even briefly. And briefly is enough to create a reference point. Do this once a day, every night before sleep if you can. The instrument needs to be recalibrated regularly until the new tuning becomes the default. The goal is not to practice prosperity. It is to make prosperity the baseline from which you operate. Someone wrote in the comments recently something that I want to bring in here because it describes the quantum state of prosperity operating in a direction most people do not expect. So, now let's see the highlighted comment of today. I received the message. I supported my friend. She is going through adversity. She is out of adversities now. She is totally fine. Thanks a ton. I want to point at something specific in this comment that most people would read past. She was not the one in adversity. She was the one supporting someone else through adversity. And the thing that changed was not her own circumstances. It was her capacity to hold a steady frequency for someone who could not hold it for themselves in that moment. That is the quantum state of prosperity operating at its most fundamental level. Prosperity is not the absence of adversity in your own life. It is a state of internal coherence, stable enough that it does not collapse when the field around you is turbulent. Stable enough to be useful to someone else who is in the fragmented state. Stable enough that your presence in the field contributes to the reorganization of what is possible around the people you care about. This is what the ancient traditions called abundance of spirit. Not wealth as a private accumulation, but as a radiating field. A person in the genuine quantum state of prosperity does not just attract better circumstances for themselves. They change the probability field for the people around them, not through effort, advice, or intervention, but through the coherence of the state they are running. She received the message, not as information, as a state. And from that state, she became useful to someone who needed what that state produces. That is what tonight is for. So, now tell me in the comments, who in your life would benefit most from you being in the quantum state of prosperity? Not who needs money, who needs the quality of field that a coherent prosperity state produces, because that is what you are actually building when you do this work. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Entering the prosperity state once is a beginning. Staying in it is the actual work. And staying in it is harder than entering it, because the world is calibrated to pull the instrument back towards scarcity. Every piece of news designed to produce anxiety. Every social comparison that activates the sense of not enough. Every memory of a time when abundance arrived and then left. Every interaction with someone operating from the scarcity frequency. All of these are recalibration forces. They are constantly nudging the instrument back toward the frequency it was originally calibrated to. The person who wants to maintain the prosperity state needs to understand this not as a threat, but as information. The recalibration forces are not enemies. They are the field showing you where the scarcity calibration still has purchase in your system. Each time something pulls you back, it is pointing at a layer that has not yet shifted. The practice for maintaining the state is not about avoiding the recalibration forces. It is about shortening the recovery time. The measure of how anchored you are in the prosperity state is not whether you ever feel the pull of scarcity. It is how quickly you return to the prosperity frequency after the pull has occurred. A person new to this work might spend days in the scarcity state after a triggering event before finding the way back. Someone with more practice returns in hours. Someone deeply anchored returns in minutes. Eventually, the return becomes nearly instantaneous, not because the triggers stop, because the prosperity state has become sufficiently established as the baseline that departure from it is noticeable and the return becomes automatic. There are 3 things that reliably accelerate this anchoring. The first is the daily practice I gave you earlier. 5 minutes every morning or every night before sleep of genuine recognition of what is already present. Not as a ritual, as a recalibration of the instrument before the day begins. The second is deliberate attention management, not suppressing awareness of problems. Problems need to be addressed, but choosing how long you give your attention to the scarcity frequency before returning it to the prosperity frequency. The scarcity state feeds on extended attention. Brief contact for the purpose of action is sufficient. Extended dwelling is the recalibration force. The third is proximity to the field. The coherence of the people around you affects your coherence, not permanently and not uncontrollably, but consistently enough that spending regular time in the presence of people operating from the prosperity state accelerates the anchoring of that state in your own system. This is what the comment I shared earlier demonstrated. Her coherence was useful to someone who needed it, but her coherence needed to exist first. Build yours. The people around you will feel it whether you announce it or not. there is a specific moment in the transition from scarcity to prosperity that most people either do not reach or do not recognize when they arrive at it. It is the moment when you stop trying to escape scarcity and start genuinely inhabiting prosperity. Those are not the same movement. Trying to escape scarcity keeps the attention on scarcity. It makes scarcity the reference point from which all movement is measured. Every step toward abundance is measured against the scarcity baseline. And measuring abundance against scarcity is itself a scarcity state activity. It keeps the instrument tuned to the frequency it is supposedly moving away from. So genuinely inhabiting prosperity is different. It is not a movement away from something. It is a settling into something. A recognition that the prosperity state is not a destination you are approaching from a distance. It is a state that exists now, that is available now, that the field can produce now if the instrument is tuned to receive it. The scarcity narrative says, "When I have enough, I will be in the prosperity state." The quantum field says the opposite. When you are in the prosperity state, enough will find you. Not as a promise of specific outcomes, as a description of how the field works. The state comes first, and then the circumstances follow the state. This is the hardest thing to trust, because the evidence is always presented in the wrong order. The circumstances appear to come first, and the state appears to be a response to them. You feel prosperous because good things happened. The physics says something different. The good things happened because the state was already running at a frequency that the field could organize around. The confirmation only becomes visible in retrospect, which means the trust has to come before the confirmation. And trust before confirmation is the exact gesture that the scarcity state finds most difficult to make. That difficulty is not a flaw in you. It is the last defense of the scarcity calibration. The moment you trust prosperity before you have confirmation of it is the moment the calibration actually changes, not gradually. In a specific moment of genuine commitment to the state before the circumstances have confirmed it. And that moment can happen tonight. So let's go to this now. This is the practice for tonight, for the minutes before you sleep. Sleep is the most powerful recalibration window available to you. During sleep, the conscious filter that maintains the scarcity calibration is offline. The nervous system is in its most receptive state. Whatever frequency you bring to the threshold of sleep tends to be the frequency that gets processed and reinforced during the night. This is why we must do this in the sleep time. Most people bring anxiety to sleep. The day's unresolved problems, the tomorrow's pending concerns, the accumulated weight of every place where things are not yet as they need to be. And the nervous system processes that frequency across 8 hours and wakes up recalibrated toward more of the same. Tonight, deliberately, you are going to bring a different frequency to the threshold of sleep. In fact, if you have trouble sleeping, this might even help you too. So pay attention now. Before you close your eyes, lie on your back, hands open at your sides, palms facing up, the receiving posture. Take 3 slow breaths. With each exhale, release 1 layer of the day, the effort, the performance, the vigilance, 1 layer per exhale. Then bring to mind not a visualization of what you want, something that already exists in your life that belongs to the prosperity frequency. Real, specific, already here. It does not have to be significant. It just has to be genuine. Let the feeling of it expand in your chest. Let it be the last thing your nervous system is holding as you drift toward sleep. Not a thought about it, the feeling of it, the actual physiological sensation of genuine recognition of what is already present and real. Stay with that feeling as long as you can before sleep arrives. You do not need to maintain it all night. You need to bring it to the threshold. The nervous system will do the rest. This is not a technique I am recommending from theory. It is what I do every night. The difference in how I wake up on mornings after doing this versus mornings after bringing the usual anxiety to sleep is not subtle. It is the difference between a system that woke up recalibrated toward scarcity and a system that woke up recalibrated toward what is already present and available. The quantum state of prosperity does not activate once and stay forever without maintenance. It activates, it gets reinforced, it deepens. Tonight is the activation, the practice is the reinforcement, and the deepening is what changes the life. To help you put all of this into practice, I've created a free ebook as a gift for you for making it this far. This is the surprise I promised at the beginning of this video. You just need to enter your email and you'll receive this exclusive method directly there, so you'll stay up to date on all the upcoming news. Follow me on Substack to have access to my newsletter. So, don't waste time and secure your free practical guide now by clicking the link in the description. And one more thing before we continue. Everything in this video, how you saw, the quantum state of prosperity, the calibration from scarcity, the practices, the field responding to the observer, all of it sits inside a larger process, a transition that many of you are in the middle of right now, a transition that has phases, that has specific symptoms in the body, and an experience that requires something more than a single video to navigate. So how I went through my own version of this transition, without a map, I've created the Quantum Transition Field Guide specifically for you. For the people who come after me would have what I did not have. 89 pages covering the full arc of a quantum transition. The phases, what each one produces in the body, in relationships, in the relationship with prosperity and abundance, what supports the process and what disrupts it. With 5 practical protocols, a 30-day navigation guide built for someone who is actively living this, not just reading about it. And for those of you who prefer to receive this through listening, the audiobook version is available. Everything in the guide, delivered in audio form for the moments when you are moving through your day and cannot sit with a page. Both are in the description, at launch price right now. So enjoy it. If this video landed at the right moment, if something in the practices tonight shifts something real, the guide is the next layer of what you are building. Now write in the comments, "Tonight, I activate." Not as a declaration to the universe, as a commitment to yourself, to the specific practice, to the threshold. Because the people who write it are significantly more likely to actually do it than the people who only think it. I want to close this video with something honest. How you saw in the last few minutes, the quantum state of prosperity is not a switch that flips once and stays on. It is a calibration that deepens with practice, with intention, with the deliberate choice to return to it when the world pulls you back towards scarcity. It is built in small daily moments of genuine recognition of what is already present, in the willingness to trust the state before the circumstances confirm it, in the practice at the threshold of sleep, in the quality of field you choose to bring to the people around you. But it begins with a moment, a specific moment where something shifts from theoretical to real, where the prosperity frequency stops being something you are trying to reach and becomes something you are actually inhabiting, even if only briefly. That moment may have already happened in this video, in the practice, in the shift in the chest, in the drop of the background vigilance, in the recognition of something already present that you had been scanning past in the search for what was absent. If it did, you know it. Not because I told you, because you felt it. And if it did not happen yet, it is available tonight, at the threshold of sleep, in the open hands, in the genuine recognition of what is already here. The field has already started organizing around your presence in this video, because you brought a specific quality of readiness to it, and the field responds to readiness with precision. Subscribe to this channel if the content has been delivering something genuine for you, and leave a like if tonight felt different from other nights, or day if you're seeing it at morning. Thank you for being with me in this transmission. You're already part of the 1% just for making it to the end. I even talk a lot about the 1% who feel this true frequency in this video appearing on your screen right now. Click now and continue this journey of quantum knowledge with me. See you there. The field is listening. It always has been.